Once the king of reality TV, Pawn Stars was raw, real, and impossible to stop watching. But behind the scenes, something changed. The drama got faker, the deals got scripted, and the soul of the show quietly vanished. Today, we uncover how Pawn Stars went from groundbreaking to broken, and who, why, and how was really pulling the strings.
I'm Rick Harrison, and this is my pawn shop. I work here with my old man and my son, Big Hoss.
It was four guys in an antique shop turning random junk into gold, and people couldn't stop watching. Rick made quick deals, the old man gave elderly advice, Corey was still trying to show he deserved to be there, and Chumley was just being Chumley. It felt real, and it was. Every item had a backstory, every deal actually mattered, and the show became a huge hit. At its best, Pawn Stars was the biggest show on the History Channel. It was one of those shows you'd put on in the background and then suddenly you're still watching 3 hours later, seeing Rick argue over an old guitar. But that's when things started to go wrong. With millions of people watching, the show stopped feeling random. The walk-ins customers started to seem like paid actors, and the deals were always the same. Same expert shows up, same explanation every single time. And little by little, the realness that made the show special started to fade. It turned into a show that felt planned, not real. Today, let's crack open and see how Pawn Stars accidentally wrote the script for its own fall. Let's go back to the beginning. When Pawn Stars first came out in 2009, it felt like something totally new. No one had ever made a reality show like this before, mixing a real-life pawn shop with a TV show.
You will pay $150,000.
Holy!
How you get all this cool stuff?
Those are cool.
I feel like a champion.
People got to know the Harrison family, and even the grumpiest workers came across as funny and likable.
All right. Hey, Pops. Damn, son! What's your eye, man?
A Remco bazooka.
Each episode felt casual, like nothing was planned. It looked like real customers were walking in, bringing strange items, and making deals on the spot. A big reason the show became popular was because it seemed real. TV ratings proved how big it got. In just 1 year, the History Channel was proud to say Pawn Stars was one of the top shows on cable TV. Around 4 to 5 million people watched every episode to see Rick and the crew talk about weird, surprising stuff people brought into the shop. Viewers felt like the show was real, a generation dealing with old, interesting stuff, and making deals in a fun way. It didn't feel fake or scripted. The people who came on the show looked like normal, everyday people. Rick never seemed like he was reading lines, and his reactions like, "All right, that looks creepy," felt natural and real. Even the real-life shop saw a huge change. Before the show, only about 70 to 100 people visited each day. But after Pawn Stars became a hit, more than 1,000 tourists started showing up daily.
All right, that looks creepy.
That made the show feel even more believable. Every deal on the show felt like a little adventure. In the early seasons, fans would say things like, "Of course he recognized that rare coin. He's an expert."
I really do dig it.
The reason I love this coin so much is the fact that it is so rare that virtually no one has it in their Morgan dollar collection because it is so difficult to get a hold of.
Okay.
The way they acted felt friendly and relaxed, and the historical facts they shared were fun to learn. It was like the History Channel was giving us a friendly wink. By the mid-2010s, fans started to feel like something was off. The episodes began to feel the same every time. There was always a surprising item. Rick would take out his phone, call in an expert, and then that expert would show up to explain how much it was worth. Eventually, Rick would make an offer, and the deal was done. People also doubted how they could have experts in 10 minutes almost every time. They even joked online, saying things like, "They have a cage in the back with all the experts in it. They pull them out when they need them. The, let me call a guy." No call is ever made, they already know what is going on. Also, people noticed that Rick almost always bought the items by season 10. But in the early seasons, he used to turn down more offers. It started to feel like every deal had to end in a sale, even when it didn't seem real. It wasn't just sharp-eyed fans who noticed things felt off. In 2014, the Las Vegas Review-Journal published a story about how the store was run during filming. The manager, Travis Benton, explained how hard it was to balance the real business with the TV show. He admitted that on the days they filmed, they actually had to ask real customers to leave the store so they could fill it with paid extras and tourists instead. He also said that the main stars of the show, like Rick and Chumlee, rarely worked at the counter to make real deals. That, he said, was the only part that might seem misleading. But in the same interview, Benton still claimed that Pawn Stars is never scripted. A lot of fans didn't believe that, though. To them, it was clear something about the show felt planned. So if that's not scripted, what do you call it? Fans started noticing small things that felt off in some episodes. Like, have you ever seen how the doors of the store look different before and after a commercial break? Or how some of the customers seem way too excited, almost like they're acting? Well, one Vegas blogger finally uncovered the truth. Pawn Stars doesn't even film in the real gold and silver pawn shop during the show. Instead, they built a copy of the store, hidden away from real customers, just for filming. So what you see on TV isn't the real working shop, it's a replica made just for the cameras. Blogger Scott Robin said it straight that most of what you see on Pawn Stars is filmed on a set not inside the real gold and silver pawn shop. When the show became super popular, fans started showing up at the real store in huge numbers. Some even waited in long lines outside. So, to avoid the crowd, the producers made a secret replica of the shop in the back, where they could film in peace. That's also why the lighting sometimes looks strange, or you might catch a camera crew's reflection in the glass. Basically, the shop you see on TV isn't the real one. It's a fake version built just for the show. A lot of fans felt tricked when they found out. Many fans felt betrayed. The whole thing is staged. It's a performance. The set wasn't the only surprise. The next shock was how the buying and selling actually worked. Remember all those dramatic price talks where they argued back and forth? Well, that's mostly just for the cameras. Whether it's called scripted or not, the final price is agreed on before they even start filming. Even people who've been on Pawn Stars have admitted how staged it really is. Someone who worked as an extra on the show said that just 5 minutes of footage took over an hour to film. They had to reshoot scenes multiple times. He even said they reran several scenes until the producers were happy. And that customer who appears to just walk in? That didn't happen by chance. According to the extra, the production team cleared out the real customers before filming. Only around 12 people who had signed up to be extras were allowed to stay inside. So, everyone you see in that episode was either a planned seller or a background actor, not random people off the street.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you doing? Well, I brought you the signed first edition of Leaving Las Vegas by John O'Brien. He signed and dated it right on the title page there.
Okay, guess what I'm never doing? Leaving Las Vegas.
Over time, Pawn Stars discovered a successful formula of finding interesting items, ensuring the seller is willing to sell, and creating some drama around it. This approach helped the show maintain its audience and stay popular. Behind the scenes, editors and producers go through hours of footage each week to build one smooth, complete story. Sometimes they reshoot parts or add things later to make sure everything flows well. Almost every fan caught on by the mid-2010s and online forums were full of theories, jokes, and even direct claims about how staged Pawn Stars really was. One comment from Julie Jacobson pulled together these reality TV confessions, including a surprising one. My uncle was on Pawn Stars attempting to sell something. The item wasn't even his. He knew a guy who worked on the show. That wasn't an isolated case. Over time, it became clear that many of the so-called sellers were actually friends, acquaintances, or connections of the production team, not actual customers. On YouTube, videos exposing the Pawn Stars scandal have gained thousands of views, accompanied by numerous comments from viewers pointing out inconsistencies or made-ups. The numbers told the same story. By 2020, Pawn Stars was still airing, but fewer people were tuning in. The History Channel quietly moved it to later time slots, and online discussions suggested that fan interest had peaked, and confirmed results were that after March 2020, demand for Pawn Stars dropped significantly. Even though new spin-offs kept rolling out, longtime fans seemed to agree on the reason: the History Channel died the day it went down the reality TV route. Off-camera drama didn't help either. Just as fans were questioning how real Pawn Stars was, real-life scams hit the cast. In 2016, Austin Chumley Russell, the show's lovable goofball, was arrested after a police raid uncovered drugs and weapons at his Las Vegas home.
Assault investigation lands one of the members of Pawn Stars in trouble. Austin Russell, better known as Chumley, is in jail tonight.
New at 11, owners of the pawn shop saying while they don't have details, they're here to help Chumley however they can.
The History Channel stayed quiet, and fans noticed the shift. Newer episodes featured less of Chumley's hijinks and more safe subplots like errands or background moments. Then came a public 2022 lawsuit, Rick versus his own mother, over ownership of the pawn shop. Headlines exploded. For a show built on family business charm, the cracks were showing, and viewers couldn't help but wonder if the cast's real lives were falling apart. How real was the show anymore? The real-life mess behind the scenes was starting to feel just as scripted as the reality on screen. And with each new headline or fan theory, that original trust, the one that made Pawn Stars feel authentic, kept fading. You didn't need to be a TV insider to sense it. Something felt off. As Pawn Stars moved into its later seasons, the fake acts began to fade, and then the truth started surfacing. It wasn't a real negotiation. It was a rehearsed exchange made to look genuine, and Hoover's story wasn't unique. The entire system was designed that way. Sellers with interesting items were screened first. If producers liked what they saw, the seller got coached, told where to stand, what to say, and how to act. If they couldn't perform, the deal got scrapped. Same with the haggling. When Rick talks a price down from $1,000 to $500, it's mere choreography. The number was agreed upon in advance. One producer even admitted, if Rick doesn't buy anything, the episode doesn't work. So the outcome was locked before the cameras rolled. Which all points to one thing, and that is, Pawn Stars stopped being about real deals. It became a production. What started as an authentic pawn life slowly became just the act of making profits. So what's the bottom line? Does it matter that Pawn Stars was staged? For some fans, yes. Because when a show sells itself as reality, discovering the strings behind the curtain feels like a quiet betrayal. But maybe the bigger truth Pawn Stars left us with was reality TV isn't reality. It's a cheap version of the truth. If the Pawn Stars scripts caught you off guard, do tell us in the comments that did Pawn Stars lose its charm for you now, or is it still worth the watch? Until next time.